we'll be recording tonight as we get started. We'll go ahead and get started, everyone. Thank you so much for attending tonight's Family Welcome and Program Overview for STEP 2022. My name is Luther Richmond, and I'm an EOP counselor, the Educational Opportunity Program Counselor and Program Coordinator. I'm the coordinator of STEP, the Summer Transitional Enrichment Program, which I hope you all know what that is by now. We'll be going over a bunch of different information tonight, but first I'll introduce myself. Like I said, I'm Luther. I'm a UCSB alum. I graduated with a bachelor's in communication from UCSB in 2007. I was born and raised in Santa Barbara, so I'm a local. I love to talk about the area and different opportunities. So definitely hit me up. And I actually attended STEP when I was a first-year student in 2003, coming into UCSB. So I was definitely in your shoes, a little bit nervous, a little anxious, a lot excited to see what STEP was about and to see what my transition to UCSB would be like, right? And then, so after UCSB, I got a master's degree in counseling from San Jose State, and I've been working with EOP since 2013. So this will be the 9th STEP program that I coordinate. Very proud of that. And we have a great week in store for y'all. So yeah, excited to pass on some of this info. Finally, a lot of you have been really diligent in getting your information in, and I know some of you have a lot of questions still remaining. But don't worry, we'll have a Q&A at the end. So please write down your questions and save them for the end. Hopefully the presentation will answer a few of them. And then if not, we'll have time at the end to ask away. All right. Okay, next slide, please. Here's the agenda for tonight. We'll be going over staff introductions so you can get to know who we are. We'll go over the mission and history of the program so you get a little bit of context in terms of what's gone on in the past, or where the roots of STEP are, and then we'll go over the program overview for this year and go over what's in store for the week, what we'll be up to in terms of the hours and events and the schedules. We'll also review MoveIn, what it looks like on Saturday to move in, what that process is like. Obviously this year is a lot different from past years. I know you don't know what the past years look like really, but I just wanted to mention that, we're really excited to have everyone back on campus. It's the first year since 2019 that we're having STEP back on campus, and we've made a lot of accommodations to make that happen. So please, pay attention. Please try to adhere to the guidelines because we're just trying to make it safe for everyone, staff, participants, students, faculty, everyone in the campus community included, right? After MoveIn, we'll go over what to bring to STEP if you haven't seen that document already that was posted in Shoreline. All right, so that's a quick overview of the agenda. At the end, like I mentioned, we'll have a Q&A session where you can connect with us and answer any one-on-one questions or questions that you think would be good for the group. All right, at this time, I'll pass it over to Dr. Aaron Jones, our EOP director. Thank you, Aaron.
Right on. Thank you, Luther. And it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all here. This is quite an auspicious moment for us. As Luther mentioned, we are coming back to an in-person residential experience for the first time since 2019. So this is very, very exciting, and we're very happy that you are here. So again, obviously, my name is Aaron Jones. I'm originally from San Francisco. I use he, him, his pronouns. And I'm also a UCSB alum. I received my bachelor's in Black Studies and Political Science and my master's in education and PhD in education as well. And also, like Luther and others here, I am also an EOP alum and a STEP alum. And I was also an EOP peer mentor during my undergraduate career. So being in this role now for the past 4.5 years as director has been an honor and a privilege. It's almost like coming full circle for me and being able to have been a student at UCSB and an EOP student, and then to be able to provide support and opportunities for all of you all who are joining us, our future gauchos. I want to congratulate you also, all of you students and parents and guardians and families alike on your achievement. It is quite significant that you all are going to be joining us at UC Santa Barbara and joining the Gaucho family. And we also recognize and acknowledge that it was not just by all of your students, all your children alone. It's actually a family effort. It takes a village, as they say. And we know that you have worked hard, very, very hard to be here, all of you. And we just want to reemphasize, which we will do continuously, that you deserve to be here. And then making this transition can be a little bit anxiety inducing, but know that you deserve to be here. And so many of us here who are supporting you have been in your shoes, as Luther has indicated. We look forward to welcoming you this weekend. It's going to be a quite powerful and celebratory event to be able to welcome you. A little bit about EOP. EOP began in 1966 as a result of student demands during the civil rights movement. And when EOP first started, there were 3 EOP students. And now we number like 7,500 to 8,000 students, about 35% of the undergraduate student population. So we have grown significantly during that time. And we offer holistic support services for our students. We consider ourselves a family. So once you join the EOP family all the way through to graduation, we got your back, as the saying goes. So we'll be able to get more into some of the resources and opportunities that we provide and support during this presentation and during your students' tenure here at UCSB. It is worth mentioning as well that this is the 45th anniversary of the Summer Transitional Enrichment Program. So although EOP has been around for a little bit longer, this is one of our signature pillar programs which we are happy and honored to be able to offer again. A few words about the C word, COVID. We will be going into further detail a little bit later on, but we want you to know that UCSB, UC Santa Barbara, is a very, very safe place. We've had the campus and the University of California as a whole has instituted vaccine requirements, which you should be well aware of by now. We've had strongly encouraged indoor masks mandates, so they're not required, but they are strongly encouraged. And it should be noted as well, the positivity rate on campus is far below that of the surrounding areas, and certainly far below the state and national average. So we want to acknowledge that what the precautions that we've been taking have been actually very effective in helping us to navigate this uncertain terrain. So while here, just know that your kids, your children, your loved ones are safe. We even ourselves within our department adhere to the campus and county protocols. We do offer regular testing. Testing is offered on campus for free for all campus affiliates, so that's faculty, staff, or students. And we continue to be very, very vigilant in our approach as we navigate and mitigate this, this pandemic, which is becoming more endemic now. Yet, unfortunately, as we all know, the reality is that this is still very much with us. And so we will continue to be vigilant in our approach, making sure that we're protecting one another. I know that Luther is going to get into some of the move-in logistics, and so we'll be able to unpack that a little bit more as the presentation continues. There's some new approaches that we will be that we are instituting this year that Luther and some of our other colleagues will expand upon, and we should be well aware that we are going to be requiring rapid tests for everyone upon arrival to campus. And also you should know that we're going to also have all of our participants take a PCR test on Monday. Unfortunately, as is the policy for the residence halls, if there is a positive case, we are going to ask parents to come and pick up our loved ones and guardians to come to pick up their children, which will be, who will be, if there is a positive case, we have rooms that are sequestered for isolation in that event. And we'll go into more about the drop off in just a little bit. But that said, and have to just kind of get that out there. That said, we just want you to know your children, your loved ones are in good hands. STEP is historic. It's a wonderful opportunity. I also went through STEP, and it's a place where it's safe to say your children are going to meet people that they're probably going to know for the rest of their lives. I came in the summer of 1989 before starting in the fall of 89. And I kid you not, many of the people that I met at STEP, I'm still very, very close friends with. And there's about a dozen of us actually are still here in Santa Barbara. So that actually does say something, and that's 30 plus years later. So be prepared. I would encourage you to encourage your students or the students who are here as well to, we know it's anxiety inducing. We know it may be a little bit nervous, but it's a very, very exciting time. And we are honored and thrilled that you have chosen UC Santa Barbara and chosen to join us here in the STEP program. So we're here if there are any questions, as was mentioned, or concerns at the end, and welcome and welcome and welcome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Aaron. Next, we'll get into introducing our student staff and some of our other coordinators. Actually, we'll start with the coordinators. So in addition to me, we have Tara Jones and Jennifer Leon, and also Yasmin Gutierrez. So I'll let them unmute and introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Jennifer Leon. I use pronouns she, her, ella, and I am the residential coordinator for STEP and one of the EOP counselors as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Yasmin Gutierrez. I go by she, her pronouns. I'm the financial and payroll assistant here at EOP and the office manager for STEP.
And I don't think Tara was able to make it tonight. Tara Jones is an EOP counselor, and she coordinates the African Diasporic Cultural Resource Center and is our STEP academics coordinator. So she has planned out and programmed all of the academic activities that you'll be participating in about a week. Let's move on to our program assistants, the backbone of our program, our PAs, starting with Keon.
Hi, y'all. My name is Keon. I go by he, they pronouns, and I'm one of the four program assistants for this year. This is my third year working STEP, but this is my first year working STEP as we retransition back in person. So I'm really excited, and I'll pass it to Ravinder.
Hi everyone, I'm Ravinder. I use she, her pronouns, and this is my first time doing STEP, like working with STEP, but I did STEP in 2020 when I was also coming up as a first year. And I'm from Kingsburg, a small town in the Central Valley. So maybe there's a few of you guys near there. But yeah, and yeah, I'm also going to be a resident assistant as well.
And I don't think Araceli and Anna will be making it tonight, but we also have Araceli and Anna, who also are PAs, who might be one of your PAs, right, to the participants. And real quick, I have to rewind, embarrassing y'all, I forgot to open it up to my supervisor, our assistant director, Patricia Garcia.
No worries, Luther. Hi, everybody. My name is Patricia Garcia. I use she, her, ella pronouns. Thank you for being with us here this evening. I work alongside Luther and Jennifer and Tara and Aaron and all of our wonderful student staff to support your students. I'll be on site the entire time, so please let me know how I can help you. There's going to be a lot of questions and a lot of new things. Feel free to reach out to any of us. It's great to see y'all.
All right, we'll pass it over to our head team leader, Laura, and if y'all can, for the student staff, if you can just introduce your name, pronouns, your hometown, and major.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Laura Zapeta, pronouns she, her, hers. I'm originally from Salinas, California, and I just graduated. So I graduated with a major in sociology and a minor in applied psychology. And this is kind of a full circle moment for me, as well, as I was a participant in STEP the year of 2018. So I'm super excited to be with you all and to get the program started. And I'll go ahead and pass it to our amazing team leads, starting off with Marlene.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Marlene Gonzalez. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And similar to Laura, I was also in STEP before joining like my freshman year. And my hometown is Watsonville, which is right next to Salinas, where Laura's from. I'm starting my last year here at UCSB in the fall, and I'm majoring in sociology and applied psychology. I'll pass it to our other team lead, Kayla.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Ruiz. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am from Los Angeles, California. I just graduated in June with a major in psychological and brain sciences and a minor in applied psych. This is my second year working for STEP. And I'll go ahead and pass it on to our RAs, and I'll start off with Angel.
Hi, y'all. My name is Angel. My pronouns are they, she, and I'm so excited to meet y'all soon. And I'm also from Modesto. I saw someone in the chat into Modesto. I'm currently living in LA, and I just recently graduated as well. And I graduated with a bachelor's in sociology and art and with a minor in applied psychology. And I was also a part of STEP in 2018. So it's also another like full circle moment for me too. And I will pass it on to, give me 1 second. I can't see everyone. Ashley.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley. I use she, her pronouns. This is my first year working for STEP, but I also was a participant in 2019. So I'm really excited to be on the other side of this. And I am originally from Downey, California. And I'm going into my 4th year, majoring in psych and brain sciences and minoring in Spanish and applied psychology. And I think that's it. I'm not sure if anyone else still is left to go. Oh, Maria.
I can go. Hi guys, my name is Maria. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm in incoming 3rd year. My major is political science, and I look forward to being one of the many wonderful RAs. And yeah, I look forward to meeting you guys. Oh, I'm from Fontana, California. It's in the IE. And I'll pass it over to Layla.
Hi, my name is Layla Katiba. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm from the San Fernando Valley. I'm a 4th year incoming student, and my major is sociology and Middle East studies, and I'm also minoring in professional writing.
All right, is that it for the RAs? I think it is. I'd like to pass it over to Jocelyn, so our co-residential coordinator, so she can introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jocelyn. I'm the co-residential coordinator. I graduated in 2020, and I'm also EOP alum. This is going to be my 4th year working for STEP, and I've held all the other positions within STEP as a student. So I'm really excited for the students to be able to come back in person and really have these experiences. And I also use she, her, hers pronouns.
All right, thank you. I think we're just missing a couple of staff members who you'll get to meet soon on Saturday. For now, we'll go into the next slide, which will go over the STEP mission statement. This is the time to get someone out of the comfort zone, maybe. And I'd like to ask one of the steppers, one of the participants, to unmute, put their video on, and read the mission statement for everyone. Any volunteers?
I can do it.
All right, who's that? Who's that? Samira?
Yes, my name's Samira.
Oh, Samira, nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too. So the STEP mission statement. It is the mission of the Summer Transitional Enrichment Program, STEP, to aid in the retention of incoming EOP students so that they may persist and continue on toward a 4-year degree at UCSB. STEP programming will assist participants in their transition to UCSB by cultivating a sense of belonging and community, while instilling university standards and expectations in relation to scholarship, leadership, and citizenship.
Yes, thank you so much, Samira. big shout out, round of applause, reaction emojis, and everything for you. I know y'all are proud of your fellow stepper. Anyway, yeah, that's exactly what STEP is all about: creating networks, making sure that your transition is as smooth as possible, and to make sure that y'all have less uncertainty, right? We want to make sure by the time you enter in fall, you know, like not only like what department to go to, but who in that department can have your back, right? So that's what all of our programming is all about. So I think it's just important we include that because it's important to know what you're getting into, what the point of the program is, and how much the program can support you, not just this summer, not just this first year, but throughout the whole 4 years through EOP participation, right? Let's go to the next slide. So a brief history. Aaron touched on this briefly in his intro. And let me see. So I think I would just want to start with saying that EOP, the Educational Opportunity Program at UCSB, has such a rich history. You'll see most of the people that talk about it just start to smile and light up when they talk about EOP. It's really like home base, your home away from home, from in many different ways. So, you know, thinking back to 1966, Aaron mentioned that that's when EOP was created. What kinds of things were going on, right, during the 1960s? There was a lot of political volatility, Civil Rights Act of 1964, and a lot of students were standing up for equality, not just in society, but in the educational realm, right? So a lot of student activism. Since then, STEP's format has changed. We've changed our activities, but the mission really has stayed the same: to support students in their transition to UCSB while creating networks for students on campus. So like I already mentioned, everything we do during STEP, like literally everything we do, is directly related to creating networks for you so that your transition is that much easier than it would have been otherwise. All right. Many former steppers work in different departments on campus still, myself included. Aaron mentioned, you know, several different departments and alumni of STEP who still work here and really stick around because of the community. There's assistant deans, there's advisors on campus that are former steppers. And so like when you are in STEP, you kind of have that community already built in for you, like just by deciding to go to STEP. So I'm super proud of y'all for taking that step. You know, just getting out of high school, it's like kind of an uncertain step, but y'all really made a good decision by getting involved. There's just a quick shout out. There's like a little yeah, I guess shout out. There's members of Congress that are in STEP, inventors, actors, judges, business owners and entrepreneurs, doctors, and many other leaders in different industries that all went through STEP and all were EOP participants. As Aaron mentioned in his intro, there's over like 8,000 students at UCSB that are in EOP. It's like 40% of UCSB's population is in EOP. So your network is already, like I mentioned, it's already been established by just signing up for the program and going through it. All right, so I just wanted to include that history so you know the context of like where you fit into this whole legacy and this whole pipeline of student, staff, and faculty. Right. All right, next slide. We'll go over the calendar in a second. Because I know y'all are eager to find out like what are we going to be doing, like what are the hours for the program. Thanks for your patience while we got, you know, not having gotten that out to you yet. We've been making changes and adjustments over the last few weeks even. But before we get into the calendar, I want to go over what we call the cohort model, right? I wanted to really highlight this, especially for the parents and guardians. We have a cohort model, which is just another word for group. We really stick together through the program. And all this information was on the agreement that you signed, but I know that agreement's really long. Not everyone pays attention. So yeah, just to highlight it, the cohort model is attendance is mandatory for the duration of the program for all of our events. And EOP is responsible for the well-being of students and all the participants in the program, right? You're not fully like they call it matriculated. You're not fully matriculated into the university. So EOP is responsible. So all activities, events, and sessions are mandatory, and absences must be excused by the residential coordinator, Jennifer, one of the team leads, or myself, right? Students who, you know, I have to say, we haven't had any problems, y'all, in the past 9 years. Do not let it be this year. As we come back to campus, you know, we're having a great opportunity to make that happen. So, but I do have to mention students who sneak out or who are reported to have snuck out or have excessive tardies will be sent home, 0 tolerance. Again, we're here to support you. We're your counselors. We're not authoritative figures. We're not security guards, right? During the academic year, we're your counselors and we're your peer mentors. But at the same time, if something negative happens, this could jeopardize the future of STEP, right? 45-year-old program, which would also affect the, you know, thousands of future students if STEP should get shut down or reduced in any way because of like behavior or whatever. So for this 1 week, we just ask that you adhere to the guidelines and respect the EOP family, which we really are. And like I mentioned, we haven't had too many instances of people, you know, doing that, because really, like, by the day 1, day 2, you kind of get the sense of like why we're doing everything together, right? It just makes the experience that much better. So I hope y'all can understand that. Excuse me for a second as I pull up the calendar so we can go through it. All right, thumbs up if you can see the calendar really quick. Sorry, I can't.
I might need to stop sharing, I think.
Oh, okay. Yes, please, Keon. All right, we're on here now. I'm gonna reduce it a little bit so that you can see the whole layout. Believe it or not, y'all, this is reduced. This is the reduced calendar compared to other years. We really wanted to give y'all downtime to relax and rest. So I'll go through a really quick overview of it. So Saturday and Sunday, we have different activities, team building. We have MoveIn starting at 11, which we'll go over. We have another step welcome just with the staff, just to kind of reiterate some things for people who couldn't make it today. We'll have a scavenger hunt and some activities to meet your resident assistants, your supporters for the week, your RAs. And then we'll have hall meetings, right? Everyone is divvied up into groups, into halls, and you'll do activities together. You'll have your hall meetings together, and yeah, it's just a group to connect with. We will have time to go over pre-assignments, homework, and schedule our PCR test, which I'll go over in a little bit. All of our meals will be in a place called De la Guerra dining hall. So breakfast, y'all, that's early, right? Breakfast. I don't know if you've been eating breakfast that early this summer, but you will adjust, trust me. So 7 to 8:15 is breakfast, and then 12:30 to 1:30 is lunch, and then 5:30 to 6:30 is dinner. That might be really early for a lot of y'all to eat dinner. And so there are opportunities to order delivery and stuff to the dining hall. I mean, sorry, to the residence hall. So, Sunday, we will have exploring campus in the morning. We have some events planned for that. We have a lecture by not a lecture, but really a presentation and engaging experience with our Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Dr. Margaret Kloon, and others. And then we have beach day. So every year there's always like a stepper who's never been to the beach. So I'm excited to see who that is this year, so we can get them at the beach for beach day. Just to lounge, meet your fellow steppers, meet your roommate, and kind of hang out before the week starts. As you see, the boxes start getting smaller for Monday through Friday, right? More activities to do. I'm gonna skip over to Monday. In the morning, in general, you're gonna have writing class. In years past, we also had math classes. We are not doing math this year, just to give y'all a little bit extra time. The classes, as you should know from the website and other documents, they will not affect your UCSB GPA, but it's in your best interest, y'all. Like, it is on you to participate to the fullest, because these instructors are the instructors during the year. So you could have them in the year in fall or beyond. And all the instructors that are affiliated with STEP are super supportive, really quality writing instructors. They really want to help you get your writing to a level that's up to the university standard, right? A lot of times in high school, you don't really have that many opportunities to write at the university level, let alone do like any research, right? So writing in the morning, some students will have class starting at 9, some will have class at 10. For the hour that's free, that's your free time to work on your assignments, to hang out, to work out, stretch, and just chill, right? That's your downtime. After writing classes, we will have something called the transition seminar. So transitions is broken up into lecture and section. So lectures from 11:10 to 12:20. We have these awesome presenters from across campus, staff and instructors from across campus that'll lead different lectures, emerging into adulthood, holistic wellness, academic skills. You know, academic skills sounds a little bit dry, but trust me, you'll want to be there for that one. Undergraduate research, different opportunities and programs across campus that you can get involved in with research. And then we have the Real Talk student panel. I'm just gonna, I'll skip on that one. That's a really popular event. And then sections, these are, our sections are patterned after what you're gonna see in the fall and beyond, and during the academic years, where you go to lecture, and that's where everyone goes and gets together. And then in section, you get in small groups, in groups of like 14 or 15 to discuss what you went over. And every year after year, consistently, the transition seminar and section, those are two of the highest rated activities in terms of preparation and just enjoyment and like quality. So that's the academics component in the morning. Afternoons are make up the campus community component. So the campus community fair is happening on Monday. We'll have a financial aid workshop with the BARC overview on Monday. Career services will present Tuesday. Letters in science and college of engineering will connect with us on Wednesday. And then orientation, for those of you who didn't attend an orientation session, you'll have a chance to connect with O staff on Thursday afternoon. And then Friday, you'll have a chance to adjust your schedules. More information on that soon, but really take advantage of these. These are extra sessions and extra chances that other students just don't get. So this is really a perk and benefit of attending STEP. After dinner, that's all about residential. So residential RA activities, drop-in advising, again, another perk, the ability to drop in and talk financial aid in the evening, or career planning, or to talk about getting CalFresh and basic needs resources, which are really popular on campus. A lot of students qualify. Most EOP students qualify for CalFresh, which is basically money that can go towards groceries. I think the maximum is $204 per month that goes to you for groceries to buy food. And then we have computer lab, study time, and other activities that are led and put on by our residential staff for y'all to get, you know, acquainted with one another. We have a showcase. I know some people are like, talent show, that sounds boring, but it's always lit. It's always fun every year. I see like people shaking their head, the former staff that did it. So get your talent, you know, act together. It doesn't have to be like groundbreaking. It can be just something silly and fun. It's always a good time. And then Friday night, that's the dance. We end the program with the dance. A good DJ comes out, and yeah, we'll wrap up the weekend with that dance. And then move out is by 10 o'clock. I think we pushed it back till 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, the 20th. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. That was a really, really quick overview of the calendar, but I just wanted to give you a chance to give y'all a chance to see like what's in store. Please let us know if you have any questions. I see the chat, Ravinder, y'all better show out. Yes. Yeah. And then Keon, are you sharing once again?
Yes, is it showing?
Yeah, I think I see it now. Cool. All right. I hope y'all have some questions. Please do note your questions and we'll get to them in terms of the calendar or anything that I mentioned about the cohort model. STEP academics, like I mentioned, the classes are not graded, but it's up to you to put in what you want to get out of it, right? I kind of went over the writing purpose and, you know, that it's an opportunity to be exposed to the university level that's going to be expected of your professors. And so it is, oh, sorry, I'm seeing the chat. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that for sure. I didn't even go over the move-in, sorry. It's 11 a.m., but you can arrive a little bit earlier. Just try to arrive between 11 and 12, right? So step writing, again, those are led by writing program instructors. The transitions are led by different staff members from across campus who want to volunteer and give back to steppers. A lot of them are former steppers themselves. And there's a lot of value in those discussion sections. So highly encourage you to be engaged in those discussions. And then we also orient you to Gaucho Space. So many of you already have received an email from your writing instructors. Check your emails, y'all, daily. Get in that habit. A lot of you have received an email from your instructors just orienting you to the Gaucho Space system, and that's where you find your class syllabus, your assignments. That's where you can submit assignments. So again, another benefit of STEP is to go through that with the test run and to you know, take these classes using Gaucho Space, because you will be using these systems during the fall and beyond. All right. That is academics. Next up is the residential component, and I'll pass this over to Jennifer, our residential coordinator.
Hey everyone, okay, so I'll just jump right in. So just so you all know, our STEP participants experience group living in an on-campus residence hall with other students led by the STEP resident assistants, who are also known as RAs. The STEP RAs are current students or recently graduated students that have gone through the residence hall experience. And as a reminder, STEP is a cohort program, as Luther has mentioned, which means that during the week of STEP, all participants are part of a cohort or group that attends all STEP activities, either as an entire group or in small groups comprised of other STEP students. So this ensures the success and safety of the program, as outside visitors are not permitted. The cohort model aids in relationship building as students transition into UCSB life and are building their networks of support. So all STEP activities are monitored by EOP staff to ensure the safety of all participants and to make sure this program is a positive experience for all. So I would like to note that safety is one of our top priorities. So with that said, I'd like to review a few of the residence hall housekeeping rules. Participants are required to lock their room door and windows when they are away from their bedroom and make sure to always carry their keys. The exterior doors are locked 24 hours and propping of exterior doors is prohibited. The residence hall is separated into two wings. So we have a male and female, and we do have gender neutral restrooms available. So now that we have touched on a few of the rules, I'll also like to touch on the community guidelines for STEP. I will read these verbatim from EOP and UCSB. So the University of California, Santa Barbara is a community of people with diverse cultural, racial, and ethnic backgrounds. We represent a broad spectrum of national origins, religious beliefs, and political affiliations. Amidst our diversity, we must strive to understand the individuality and life choices of those around us. We need to learn from one another in an atmosphere of positive encouragement and mutual respect. Our activities, classes, and daily interactions must be rooted in a genuine desire to learn from others. Ultimately, we must give respect with each which we ourselves desire. And bigotry has no place within our community, nor does the denigration of another human being. A hate crime is a criminal act against a person or their property because of that person's real or perceived race, color, age, physical ability, national origin, sexual orientation, gender, or religious affiliation. We would not tolerate threats, intimidation, violence, or other forms of harassment against any member of our community. Likewise, we will not accept ignorance, humor deemed inappropriate, anger, or substance abuse as an excuse, reason, or rationale for such behavior. Such behavior in violation of UCSB principles of community, verbal or typed, will be subject to disciplinary action that may include, but is not limited to, immediate dismissal from STEP, and it will be reported to UCSB's Bias Incident Response Team. Additionally, diversity actions will be handled by the Office of Student Conduct. All of us who work in the Summer Transitional Enrichment Program have chosen to be here and are committed to these principles that are an integral part of our purpose, values, and daily activities. Our wish is for your STEP experience to be a positive, productive, and personally meaningful one. And now I'll talk a little bit our UCSB policies. Alcohol and or drug use during the program, including day or evening activities, is prohibited. There is zero tolerance. Harassing behavior of any kind is prohibited. Physical harassment or the threat of physical harm, intimidation, as well as conduct that threatens the health and safety of the community is prohibited. Verbal and nonverbal harassment made directly or indirectly is not tolerated. This includes threats, malicious pranks, abusive name calling, prank phone calls, and racial, gender, or sexual orientation harassment. The University of California is committed to creating and maintaining a community where all individuals who participate in university programs and activities can work and learn together in an atmosphere free of harassment, exploitation, or intimidation. Every member of the community should be aware that the university prohibits sexual harassment and sexual violence, and that such behavior violates both law and university policy. The university will respond promptly and effectively to reports of sexual harassment and sexual violence and will take appropriate action to prevent, to correct, and when necessary, to discipline behavior that violates this policy on sexual harassment and sexual violence. I'd like to point out that the center of our community is a safe community. So now I'll move into some of our STEP policies. All STEP participants are required to attend all of the events assigned unless they have an approved absence 24 hours in advance. Excused absences are approved by myself, the residential coordinator, team leaders, or the program coordinator, Luther. Participants must follow staff direction at all time, and this includes PAs, team leads, RAs, residential coordinators, so all staff. If you require special accommodations, please contact your PA, program assistants. As an example, if you have a change in your public transportation pickup, now would be the time to reach out to coordinate that. And then I can go ahead and allow our team leaders, Laura, Marlene, and Kayla, speak out and describe some of the events that will take place during this during STEP and the type of bonding that you all may experience.
Yeah, so just to touch upon a little bit of our activities, we'll be hosting a movie night, tie-dye, paint night, karaoke. Really, the RA activities are some of the activities that are the most memorable, to be honest. As a student, I really remember connecting with other fellow steppers and just being able to try new things together, I think was such a memorable experience because we're all in the same kind of just entering UCSB, all nervous. So it was really nice to have that cohort model that really did build community within the cohort, and doing these RA activities were super fun, and I'm super excited for y'all to participate in them, and I look forward to joining y'all in participating in these RA activities.
Yeah, and so the events that Laura mentioned are all meant to be an experience for y'all to get to know each other and to also bond. So like Jennifer and Luther mentioned, EOP serves as a family, and we want STEP to be able to be a place where y'all can call a home away from home. And so being able to participate in all of these activities can help y'all connect with each other, and potentially, I know a lot of people who have done STEP. I didn't do it myself, but I know a lot of people who have found their lifelong friends there, their best friends. And so really it's about being able to connect with each other and be comfortable when coming into the campus, because this is going to be like the first step that you take here. So.
And going off of Laura and Kayla, based on what they said, these activities are kind of for you to relax, since I know that the schedule is a little bit packed. These activities are meant for all of you to bond, like with people on your floor, with people in your cohort. I remember that when I did the tie-dye event, that's literally where I met like all my best friends. And it was really nice because we became really good friends during that tie-dye activity. So when I ended up moving in freshman year, like in the fall, and people were already kind of nervous because they still didn't have friends, I already kind of had like my set group of friends that I could rely on literally the first day of moving in. And that was like the best feeling ever. But yeah, please, and if it's something that's not in your comfort zone, it's okay as well. Even just like being present in the moment and like bonding with others around you, whether you're not like that social or not, it's fine. But like I said, these events are made for all of you to relax and kind of serve as a balance compared to the other things that we will be doing throughout the day. And all these activities are things that we specifically plan because we believe that it's something that all of you need. So it's not like we just randomly chose it, but everything has a purpose. So we're really excited for all of you. We're really excited to see all of you interact in these RA activities and hope you enjoy them as much as we enjoyed planning them for you.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, residential team. Anything else to wrap up on, Jennifer, before we move on?
I don't think so. That covers it.
All right, thanks so much. Let's move on. I know we have 2 more important slides before we get into the Q&As, so we can start interacting with y'all. See the chat, affiliate, COVID-19 safety. All right, so please, let's take 5 seconds. Y'all can turn your video off, but let's come back. I know, let's yeah, take a 5-second break real quick and gear up for this next couple slides. Feel free to stand up, stretch out. Usually I would like to do a 5-minute little break, but we don't have that much time left, y'all. So we'll keep it moving. Readjust your focus and we're back. So again, apologies that it was such a short break. Well, not really even a break, but yeah, come back, turn on your cameras if you can. So COVID-19 safety, just want to share that campus requires compliance, right? Compliance with the COVID-19 policy. And so that policy requires all students, staff, and faculty to be compliant with the COVID vaccination and booster policy. Students who are not in compliance before fall, to be clear, before fall move-in, not step move-in, students who are not in compliance before fall move-in will have their classes dropped. We just confirmed that again today. On our list, we did have 3 students who are planning on coming to STEP who are not compliant. So we don't want that to happen to you. So our staff will be reaching out to you. Check your emails, y'all, every day. Student Health has sent out 5 emails since mid-July to the students who aren't compliant. So please do read those emails from Student Health. They'll tell you how to do it, step-by-step process, so that you can be compliant with the policy. The good news is that out of 120 students that will be attending STEP, there were only 3 that weren't fully compliant. So chances are, if you're listening to this, you are compliant, but just double check with Student Health in your portal about your compliance with the vaccination policy. All right. Next up is to test. We want to encourage you, highly encourage you to test the day before, like with the rapid test, the day before STEP starts. And also, even if you're taking public transportation, please test the morning that you leave before. Because like I mentioned earlier, or maybe I didn't mention, I don't even remember right now, but if you receive a positive at the train station, the airport, the bus station, we can't let you enter campus, and we will have to arrange like a pickup for you to turn around and head back, or to be picked up by a family member or guardian. So please be sure you're getting those positive results. All right. So we also ask that you take extra precaution, not just for yourselves, but for everyone. If you're doing public transportation, please mask up and reduce the risk of picking anything up. during that time so that we all have a week where we can not have to worry about that. Okay. So compliance and testing, those are those 2 points I wanted to hit home. Moving over to move-in day. So Saturday, 8/13, we're going to split it up into students who are taking public transportation and students who are getting dropped off. So first I'd like to cover the move-in day for the students who are going to be picked up at a train station, bus station, or the airport. Our student staff will give you an antigen test, a rapid test at the arrival location. So at the train station, we'll find you, we'll have your cell phone number. So please confirm that your PA has your cell phone number so that we can pick you up and then give you the rapid test. A negative result must be received in order to get into the UC van to go back to campus. Again, if a positive result is received, that happens, a student must make arrangements to return, get back on the train and go, get back on the bus, or arrange a flight back, or to be picked up by a parent or guardian, because we cannot expose the program and staff or campus to a known positive. All right, so this is a huge difference. We've never had to worry about this, obviously, in the past when we've had the program on campus, but this is just the reality. Please do write down your questions so we can clarify at the end. Again, that's why it's so important to test the day before or even the morning of, so you don't run into that situation. All right, moving over to students who will be dropped off by a family member or a friend or guardian. Upon arrival to STEP at Santa Cruz Residence Hall, students will be given a rapid test in their cars. So you'll pull up, you'll get a rapid test, do the rapid test in your car, wait 15 minutes, and then if you get a negative result, then you can proceed to the next check-in station where you can get your room keys, your STEP swag bag, and continue with the move-in process. If a student receives a positive test in their car with the rapid test, they will need to return home with their families. We do not want this to happen, y'all. Like, again, we're operating out of an abundance of caution, but that is just the reality of what needs to happen. Families, parents and guardians. I'm a parent, I have 2 kids. I am sorry to say that families will not be permitted to enter the residence halls as they usually are, other than to use the restroom in emergency cases. We really have to be strict on that because, we literally have people coming from all over California. We're not sure about, vaccination statuses or positive, negative tests. And so in order to keep everyone safe, we have to limit that. We're the EOP family. We understand families and especially first-gen families like myself, like my fam, with the goodbyes and whatnot. We usually have a big family welcome like this in person, but this is why we're having it virtually too, since we can't do that in person on Saturday. All right, so I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, please do let us know. Moving on beyond move-in day, on Monday, August 15th, the first day of classes, we will be doing PCR tests on campus. And so, I see what time is check-in, 11 a.m. So if you can arrive between 11 and 12, that would be perfect. Account for safety or getting, it's not safety, sorry, account for traffic or getting lost. So if you arrive a little earlier, like 10:30, that's not going to be a problem. But I would say it helps the program, it helps the staff, and you if you arrive between 11 and 12. All right. Moving to Monday, PCR testing will take place. Oh, see another question real quick. Yes, we'll send out the calendar. We still need to make a couple minor tweaks, but we hope to send it out in the next couple of days before the program starts. All right, we'll post it to Shoreline. Hopefully everyone is checking in on Shoreline. Really good question. I don't think we addressed. Will we have roommates? Yes, you will have 1 roommate. During the academic year, most rooms are triples where you have 2 roommates. So you'll have a little bit extra space during STEP. Okay, back to this. We'll answer your questions in a little bit. PCR testing on Monday. Obviously, it's for safety. We want to make sure that everyone is returning negative results on their PCR tests. But also this is to help you navigate the process. So you're not intimidated during the academic year. If you need to be tested, you know where to go, you know how it goes. Because right now you may have never done that. You may have never had to do that. So we want to make sure that you're comfortable with that whole process. All right. So on Monday, students will be required to conduct a second test. Like I mentioned, staff will walk them over to the testing site. Students who test negative will resume normal activities. Students who happen to test positive will immediately isolate and take a rapid test to see if the virus is active. As you may know, the PCR tests are really sensitive and they pick up antibodies. So if you were infected, if you had COVID like in the last 90 days, it may come up as positive. So we'll do a second rapid test to see if the virus is active. If not, then you'll go back to normal. If it's negative, you'll go back to normal activities. If a student tests positive on the PCR and then does a follow-up rapid test, and that's also positive, then they will need to contact their family and arrange to be picked up within 24 hours to reduce exposure to staff and other students, right? So parents, guardians, we want to make sure that you know if your student tests positive during STEP in that way, you will have 24 hours, since it is an emergency, 24 hours to arrange pickup or departure for students. All right, we don't want that to happen. We just have to mention that so that you know. So privacy, students are asked to share their positive result with their RA. You don't have to share it with anyone else. We don't want to make this public. We're asking that students notify us of their status so that we can start the safety protocol to keep this isolated, right? So you letting your RA know will initiate the safety protocol. Again, the parent guardian notification, we will, when we reach out, we technically cannot share that a student has tested positive. So we want to make this clear. We will contact parents and guardians and just share that they will need to come and pick up their student within 24 hours. And we won't be sharing too much else. It's up to the student to share that with you. So we will receive results from Monday's PCR test on Tuesday afternoon, most likely. So just a heads up on that. Tuesday afternoon, we'll get those results. You may have questions about quarantining and isolation. We have an isolation plan and extra rooms should the need arise. Students who test positive will stay in their room where they were, and their roommate, who may not be infected, will move to an isolation room, right? We'll move them to a single by themselves in the isolation area. We'll test the roommate beginning 2 days after their exposure to limit the spread, right? The reason why it's 2 days after is because it takes a little while for the virus to build up to be detected by the tests, right? For the students who are in isolation and who would potentially be positive, the STEP staff will pick up and drop off all of their meals, right? So again, we don't want anyone to be going to STEP and having to go through this, but this is the plan because it could happen. So we want to be prepared and we want to make sure that y'all are on the same page with what could happen should that happen. All right. Please save your questions. We're going to go over MoveIn really quick, but that's everything. That's the plan for COVID-19 safety. For MoveIn, again, August 13th, this Saturday, 11 to 12, it says 12:15, 11 to 12, 11 to 12:15. Lunch begins at 12:30, so don't be late. Don't cut into your lunchtime, right? So if you can arrive at 11, that would be awesome. Again, just to reiterate this, what I already kind of had mentioned, students taking public transportation will be picked up by our staff in the 12-passenger white UCSB vans. Staff will call our students. So again, confirm that you've given your cell phone number to the PA. You'll be given a rapid test at the arrival location and must receive a negative result to arrive back to campus. We already went over that. When you arrive on campus, you'll start to get your room keys, your swag bag, and start beginning to meet staff. All right. If you're arriving early, there's quite a few of you who are arriving early because your train is dropping off at 9 or 7 a.m. Early arrivals will have a different process. Our staff will walk you through that the morning of, and you can stay in your rooms or mingle with staff to begin icebreaker activities. All right. That'll probably be an early morning for many of you, so you can get a little bit of rest. Set your alarm for the move-in that starts at 11. Real quick, I see you, Erin. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we'll keep you posted. We'll keep you updated.
Thank you. Take care, y'all. We'll see you soon.
All right. Students being dropped off. I think I already went over this. I don't mean to be redundant, but I really want to recap for you. So you'll be given a rapid test as you enter the parking lot. You have to get a negative result to continue with registration. If you get a positive result, you must turn around and head home with your ride, your parent or guardian. Again, we'd like to ask parents and guardians to not enter the residence hall. And directions, right there, it's up on the screen, Santa Cruz Residence Hall. I think it's easiest and the least confusing if you enter that into Google Maps. There will be signs pointing to Santa Cruz Residence Hall. If you're entering from the 217, the 217 is like a small freeway that goes to campus. If you're entering through that way, there's going to be an electronic sign and also like paper signs leading you to the parking lot. All right, so we're heading to parking lot 6. You can also Google map that parking lot 6 at UCSB. That's where we want to go to. When you're going, I should mention also, when you're moving in, please, there might be a line of cars. Please stay in line. Don't enter through an alternate parking lot, because you'll miss the instruction, the rapid test, and you'll miss the your parking permit too. So please stay in line until you connect with one of our staff members. All right. And the next slide, that does it for move-in. What to bring to STEP, please check the general channel in our Shoreline page for the PDF document. You can download it. If you can't seem to find it, please reach out to your PA. We want to get you used to navigating Shoreline and finding those things. So yeah, give that a try. If you really can't find it, then you can make a post on Shoreline. It is a place for y'all to connect. There hasn't been too much connecting there yet, but I hope that y'all check out the forum and the posts, and you follow some of the instructions that are there. So head there soon. And if you really can't find it, then reach out to your PA. All right. I think that is it. Let's open it up for questions. We can make this really informal if you want to just raise your hand and we can just call on you. You can raise your hand or unmute and just begin speaking. Okay, will parents be able to get off while we check in, or is it just drop off? Good question. I think kind of just glossed over that part. It is more like drop off. The only we're asking, the only reason for parents to get off is to use the restroom in an emergency. But yeah, it is more like drop off this year. I don't want to put you out too far out of your comfort zone, but we're like the STEP fam now. We're like the EOP family now. So instead of the chat, let's unmute and hear your questions that way. Is that good?
I have a quick question.
Yes.
How many students are you expecting?
Good question. So we're expecting about 120 students. This year it's a lot smaller. Usually we try to get around 175. But it's a lot smaller, which I think that is a benefit too. I've heard a lot of good feedback from smaller programs, more intimate, you get to know more people. Okay. Other questions? I don't really see the chat right now, but y'all can.
I have another question.
Yes, Dimitri.
Yeah, I have a question about the hepatitis B immunity certification. Like, is it something that's needed?
Great question. I think some of that language was included on some of our STEP documents, but so for STEP, no. As long as you're in compliance through student health, the student health portal, you should be good to go. So for STEP, we're not going to be checking the hepatitis vaccination.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Luther, there's a question in the chat that's dropped a couple times.
Mhm.
Is the vaccine only required? I think maybe they're asking about the booster. Can you share a little more about that?
Yes, from my understanding, it's the vaccination and the booster. So on the list that we have, most people are compliant with both, and there's a number, I think 11 students have the first set, but they're not booster they're booster eligible, but they're not booster compliant. So it does include the vaccination and booster. So if you'd like to, like if you want to get your compliance done, I was told just today that if you have your first set, but you're missing the booster, you can go down to like the pharmacy or different places like that to get the booster quickly. Right. And then once you do get that, do save your results so that you can let student health know.
I think they have to upload their booster to student health.
Yes, yes, upload it, a photo or a scan of it.
Mhm.
Eden, I see your hand up.
How do we get our access cards?
Ah, good question. So during STEP, you'll have a chance to go down to the UCEN, the University Center, and I think it's $35. I think it went up from 25. I believe it's $35. You can do a walk-in there. Usually in the afternoon, they're open between 1 and 4. And you have a chance to take a picture, pay for your card, and then get your access card. What those are they have serve different purposes. So they can give you access to certain buildings. They can, you can load it with money to, I believe they still have that. You can load it with money to pay for food, like at different restaurants around campus and even off campus, I believe. And then also it serves as your student ID, basically. Chriselle?
Can we take at-home tests when we had to test the day before?
Yes, at-home tests are okay. Like the rapid at-home test, that's all good. We really encourage you to do that the day before, and even like the morning before, just to make sure if you have had like exposure to the public.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Desiree and then Elizabeth.
Hello. For the schedule, will it be emailed to us? Like, because you said there were different classes for like every EOP student.
Yeah, so your classes, where those classes are and the times, you'll find that on Gaucho Space. For the writing, there was a quick scheduling conflict, so they're still determining 2 of the rooms. But as far as like the locations, you can find that, and your instructor, you can find that on Gaucho Space. The instructions should be emailed to you as soon as your class is ready in Gaucho Space. And then to answer your other question, yes, we will send the calendar out within the next couple of days once we get those scheduling issues cleared up.
Thank you.
Sure.
My question is, will we be getting contact info if we're using transportation?
Yes, like someone to contact, like when you arrive.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. So our resident assistants, our RAs, they will have a list of everyone getting public transportation. So please, just a reminder, if you have changed your plans from when you filled out the additional details form, do let them know, like, oh, this is my cell phone. That was my home number that I put on there. You know, make sure that your cell phone's on there, and so that they can contact you. Okay.
Okay. I also have some personal questions, but I could wait until after.
Sure. Yeah, let's we can mingle right after.
Luther, there's a question in the chat about, is it possible to move in that Friday if students are having transportation issues?
Good question. So that we have had a couple of questions, and unfortunately we can't have anyone move in on the 12th. We can have you move in late on Saturday, like in the evening or in the afternoon or evening. And then as in the next option, you can come the next day on Sunday. But I would really encourage y'all to make it for Saturday because that's the first day. There's a lot of different events, and the first hall meeting is always like pretty special too. So please do what you can to arrive on Saturday if possible. Dimitri?
Yeah, I was also wondering, do you think we should bring a bike for the week-long program, or do you think it's not needed?
Good question. In general, students don't bring bikes to STEP. It used to be not permitted. For a couple of reasons. One, it's like a cohort model. So like if you have a bike, you're kind of gonna be on your own. You won't be like walking to class with everyone. Two, there's a bike abatement program. So if you don't have a special bike tag, the campus, like campus security officers can impound the bikes that are like deemed abandoned on campus. So we don't want that to happen. But I think more than anything, everything we do is in walking distance. If you have any special accommodations, do let us know and then we can arrange that.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Other questions? Don't be shy. Yes, Eden.
So can we still do gacho space if we didn't attend orientation?
Yes. So Gaucho Space is like it's kind of like your portal, your academics portal where classes are. So you don't necessarily need to have gone through orientation to get access to it. So if you if you didn't, did y'all, and this is not just to Eden, but everyone, if you didn't attend an orientation session, did you get information about something called Advising Day and how to register for Advising Day?
Not how to register for it, but I know about it.
Okay. So yeah, if you did not attend an orientation session and you didn't get an email about how to register for it, let me know, like send me a quick email and I'll pass your info along to the orientation staff, because they should have sent you an email about how to register for it, when it is, what it is, and a bunch more info. All right.
Thank you.
Sure, because that's how you're gonna choose your classes. On Thursday, the 18th, it happens during STEP. Compliance, it's only the vaccine. It's the vaccine, the 2 vaccines, and the booster also.
Earlier in the chat, Desiree asked for the roommates, will we know who they are beforehand through email or just in person?
Good question. I've always teased out the idea of letting y'all know beforehand, but I think it's better if you find out in person that day. So you're gonna find out at MoveIn. Right.
I have a question. I'm not
Yes.
sure if you talked about this before, but for the people that are taking public transportation and being like driven to the school, would we be able to get transportation to the train station on moving day?
Yes. So if you're arriving at the airport, train station, or bus station, our staff will pick you up at your arrival location, as long as you put that arrival location in your additional details form. Again, if your plans have changed, contact your PA to update them with your cell phone number and your arrival details. And then at the same time, on move out day, we'll transport you. If you're taking public transportation, we will take you to your departure locations. Okay. All right.
It was kind of answered, but Carla also asked, will we be able to pick up access cards?
Yes. Yeah. You'll have some time during the time where we explore campus, or even during the time where you don't have writing class. That would be a good time to head over to the USEN. For those things, like I mentioned, we do things as a cohort. So we ask that you don't just like head out and leave, but we ask that if you do go explore campus, you go in a small group, or you take an RA or one of our staff to just head over with you in a small group. All right.
After that, Osenu asked, how do you turn in the work for Friday? I'm assuming this has to do with the STEP classes.
Oh yeah, the work for Friday. I'm not sure exactly what that's pertaining to. Was it the writing assignment? The writing, because it could have been the writing assignment or some transition section. But yeah, the instructions should be in Gaucho Space, but you'll be using Gaucho Space to submit your work. Yeah, the writing assignment, I'll have to double check, but the instructors should have left the instructions in Gaucho Space, like in the syllabus area or in the actual assignment page. If it was the goal setting activity, then that doesn't need to be submitted through Gaucho Space. But for the writing assignments, I'll have to look for how they prefer the submissions. Right. If you don't submit, if you can't find that, don't worry. you'll probably be going over that the first day. All right.
I had a question.
Yes, Alexis.
So when you said that we're choosing classes on the 18th, is that the academic year, like the whole 2020, 2023, or is that just the STEP classes?
That would be for fall quarter, the academic quarter, for this only for the students who didn't go to an orientation session. So like if you went to an orientation session, you have classes already, right? I think you went to orientation, right?
Yeah, and I was also wondering if we were able to change our classes.
Great question. All right, so heads up on that. There's a process. It's not guaranteed that you can, but if you would like to make a change, like let's say you want to drop a class or you want to pick up a class or you want to get into something called ACE writing, you'll get more information about ACE writing. If you want to make a course change, we're going to be sharing a course change request form on Monday, I believe, if not earlier, but on Monday night during our hall meeting to go over the course change process. It's going to be a Google form. You'll have to list out like, okay, I want to drop this class and pick out this class for this reason. So if it's like, you know, just because I want to change my class to get into my friend's class, that's probably not going to get approved. But if you want to pick up like another class to change your major, or if you want to drop X class to pick up Y class, then those can be, you have a better shot of getting those approved. Those will be due Wednesday at 5 p.m. So you have to make your request by Wednesday at 5 p.m. So it's important to get advising before that. It's important to ask around and kind of get some advice as to what class changes you want to make. Right. And
thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. You'll be getting plenty more reminders. I think it seems like a lot to remember, but you're going to be getting a lot more reminders during your hall meetings. All right. Oh yeah.
Someone, Crystal asked, they submitted their picture of their vaccination card to show their booster, but it still shows it's not satisfied. Is that going to be a problem? I think it's probably still like processing, right?
Yeah, if it's pending, it shouldn't be a problem, but I would follow up with student health just to make sure. I'm assuming that was pretty recent.
And then I'm not sure if you answered Stacy's questions about like if there's signs pointing to Santa Cruz Residence Hall, and then if parents are able to get off while they're checking in, or if they have to just stay in the car.
Oh yes, I did answer. Yes, there will be signs and the arrows pointing to the right lot, and we're also asking the parents and guardians to not hop out during move out. It's so tough. Like I mentioned, y'all, we do understand families. We understand it's an emotional time, a proud time, but just for this year, we're asking families to not come out. Okay. Other questions, things that you're nervous about, things you're excited about, things you're looking forward to. Yeah, we want to hear it. This is your chance. No, we'll wait around for a couple more seconds. Anything that I may have missed, staff, anything that you want to, any words of wisdom that you want to impart?
I would say that if anyone still has any lingering questions after this, that they just forgot to ask, definitely reach out to your PAs based on the emails that we had sent you prior. And yeah, just once again, reminding people that if they have any change of plans with transportation to also let us know. If people don't recall what they had input, also let us know so that we can tell you what you input to see if it's accurate or not. But then, yeah, that's all I got.
I wanted to add, if you're feeling a little nervous, that it's okay to feel nervous. I think it's a good sign, because a lot of good things might happen when you're nervous, and take this time to step out of your shell. And nobody's gonna be everyone's gonna be here for you too. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can always ask any of us, and we're always here to help you guys out.
Oh, real quick, Carla asked in the chat, what's the latest time someone could get picked up from the station/airports?
There's not really a time limit, to be honest. You want to try to get here at a good time, but we've had like 5 a.m. pickups. We've had later drop off. So yeah, don't worry about your arrival time. Just make sure that we know what it is. Yes, walking shoes, your talent show items, step dance attire for the dance. It's gonna be pretty hot. Like for Santa Barbara, I know a lot of y'all coming from SoCal or in Central Valley. It's gonna be like 80 degrees is not that hot, but it does get pretty warm. And beach hot is like a different kind of hot too. I think it's been really humid lately too. Move-in questions, COVID safety questions, what to bring questions. So latest.
I just wanted to say that Samira regarding the booster stuff offered like some clarity. If people haven't read the chat yet, that you have to add the booster and the option is right below where you submitted the picture of your vaccine card.
Yes, thank you so much. You're on top of it. What's the latest that you can be dropped off by? So our staff, we have to be out by 11 a.m. So let's say you have a 3 p.m. train ride. Sorry, but we'll have to leave the residence hall by 11 and you'll have to wait at the train station until it departs. Longboards, that's a really good question. I used to ride my longboard around step, like in between meetings. It's kind of a double-edged sword. I think that you can, but there's really not that much time to write it, to be honest. Like we really want y'all walking to class with each other. And so, yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that. Yeah, you're mostly walking in groups or small groups or with your roommate. So then if you're like on your longboard, like even if you're an introvert and you need some time alone, like there's not that much time to ride your longboard. But there will be plenty of time during the academic year. There's really good longboarding spots all around. And shortboarding too.
Sorry, Luther, I just wanted to clarify for the question about what time is the latest we can be dropped off by, was that for move-in? Oh yeah, for move-in.
Ah, got you. So there really is there's no limit. If you need to be dropped off later in the afternoon, we'll accommodate that and we'll send a staff member over to greet you. Definitely let someone know if you are arriving late, because if we're doing like the welcome or doing other activities, we'll have to send someone over to greet you to give you your rapid test before you enter the res hall. So yeah, as long as you communicate that and we know it, it should be all good. Do people actually dress up? Yes, people dress to impress. I'll let you have I'll have the student staff address that.
It really depends on, yeah, like I think I wore like I just wore like a little collared shirt. But people wore literally whatever. Honestly, it's kind of like is it gonna be in the hub, Luther?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not even that well lit. There's gonna be like so it's like I don't think what you wear in terms of like formality will really matter. But wear whatever you're comfortable in, I think.
Good feedback. And it doesn't have to be semi-formal. It's fun. It's fun if people do, like it's kind of like a celebration. But if you can't, like it's all good, no worries. I see a few coming into the chat. So when you take your home test, how would we show you the results? So the home test, like before you leave, that's more for you. So you won't need to show us that. We will still will have you test here. That's more for like so that you know that you're negative, so that when you get to step, it's also negative. We just don't want you to like not know and then arrive at step and then have a positive result and then have to head home. Right. Yeah, I'm glad y'all mentioned the weather. It is pretty warm for Santa Barbara standards. I think it's going to be 80s.
I think they're talking about the dance.
Oh yeah. They're all like, it's hot. It gets hot in there. It does. It's fine. Any other questions or concerns? I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording now.